Hello, I'm Captain Jack and welcome to the Hangar Bay. On this channel, we take a deep dive into the best starships, technology, and more from your favourite sci-fi universes. Needing to control, ensnare, and incapacitate suspected starships while trying to put down piracy, the Imperial Navy would eventually command the Cantwell-class Arrestor Cruiser. In today's Hangar Bay video, we're breaking down this iconic Star Wars universe design, which surprisingly has its origins all the way back to 1977. While a rare sight in the Imperial Fleet, unfortunate victims caught by the ship rarely escape the wrath of the Department of Imperial Justice. Remember, for the latest videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think of the ship in the comments below. The Cantwell-class Arrestor Cruiser followed a similar design of the other Imperial warships like the Imperial Star Destroyers. This meant having the hull shaped like a narrow arrowhead. However, unlike the common Imperial-class Star Destroyer, the Cantwell-class have a tip of the arrow located at the stern of the starship design. This was an inverted triangle frame, which ended midway along the hull, meaning the front half of the ship was long and narrow. In keeping with the Galactic Empire's Imperial Navy aesthetic, the Arrestor Cruiser design was painted in a light shade of grey. The cruiser measured a length of 1,363.13 meters, a width of 667.42 meters, and a height of 229.78 meters. Engine units comprised of one primary sublight engine and two secondary sublight engines. A hyperdrive system was installed. Armament-wise, the Cantwell-class cruiser was equipped with three turret-mounted twin heavy ion cannons. One was located on the port side, one on the starboard side, and finally one on the ventral hull. Additionally, 12 light laser cannons were installed on the cruiser. 3 were located on the forward section, 3 on the port side, 3 on the starboard, and 3 were aft mounted. While the weapons could quickly deal with enemy pirate ships, the real weapons of terror were the RT-17 repulsor tractor beam emitters. 3 of these were equipped on the cruiser, one located at the bow, one on the starboard, and one on the port. The purpose of these tractor beams was to capture and draw in other starships to inspect and arrest them. While able to capture and pull in starships, the tractor beams were able to push away ships and objects to an ideal distance for the cruiser's ion cannons to disable the suspect ship's systems. The hangar bay space on board the starship allowed for at least 24 starfighters to be stationed for deployment. These included, but were not limited to, several TIE fighters, a TIE boarding craft, various shuttles, landing craft, and utility vehicles. The 2 large docking bays were situated amidship. In anti-piracy operations, both the RT-17 tractor beam emitters and the complement of TIE boarding craft played a key role in dealing with enemy starships. While the Cantwell could pull ships into its hangar bay, TIE boarding craft were also deployed to secure a starship before it was brought aboard for inspection. The crew complement of the Arrestor Cruiser included 2,270 officers, pilots, and enlisted crew members. However, 144 Imperial Stormtroopers would also be on board, along with a number of Imperial Navy troopers. Interior design-wise, the bridge of the Cantwell-class was smaller than the bridge found on an Imperial-class Star Destroyer, but shared similar design elements. A central pit featured Imperial Navy officers working on tractor beam controls and scanning ship identity transponders. The Cantwell-class Arrestor Cruiser was constructed in the early years of the Galactic Empire's rule. The Department of Imperial Justice and the Imperial Navy would campaign to create a warship designed to deal with pirates, smugglers, and other enemies of the Empire. The goal was to capture these dissidents so the Imperial Justice Department could try them publicly. Eventually, the Empire approved the program, and the contract was awarded to Kuat Drive Yards. After 3 years of development and testing, one of the first Cantwell-class Arrestor Cruisers was commissioned into Imperial service. More Cantwell-class cruisers were in service and use by the Imperial Navy in 13 BBY. Young smugglers, Han Solo and Kira, attempt to escape the planet of Corellia by boarding a vessel at the Coronet City spaceport. During their escape, Solo would see an Imperial recruitment film featuring a Cantwell-class Arrestor Cruiser, flanked by Imperial Star Destroyers. In 5 BBY, Rebel agent Luthen Rail was briefly stalked by Imperial Captain Elk's Arrestor Cruiser while orbiting Segra Milo aboard his Fondor Hallcraft. While Rail would give the Imperials aboard the Arrestor Cruiser a fake transponder signal in an attempt to avoid being captured and investigated, it did not work. Captain Elk used the cruiser's tractor beam emitters to trap the Fondor Hallcraft. While the Arrestor class could hold the Hallcraft, it was unprepared for the unique design of Luthen's ship. The Hallcraft deployed its countermeasures and successfully disabled the Arrestor Cruiser's leading beam emitter. Captain Elk would launch an Imperial air wing from the docking bays to try and salvage the situation. Now, the situation was even worse when the Hallcraft, now free of a tractor beam, deployed further countermeasures to destroy the TIE fighters and TIE boarding craft launched. Finally, it escaped into hyperspace. It's unknown if this Arrestor Cruiser could continue its operations or be repaired. The Cantwell-class would continue in operation to the Imperial Navy. Still, they were a rare sight compared to the typical appearance of other Imperial ships like the Imperial Star Destroyer or Arquitens-class. However, at least 2 Cantwell-class cruisers would be deployed to the construction area of the DS-1 Death Star Mobile Battle Station aboard Scarif around the same time. The Cantwell-class actually started out as one of the first designs of the Star Wars universe. While many think of it as a modern Star Wars design, given its appearance in Solo, A Star Wars Story, and Andor, the Disney Plus series, the design actually originated from the 1977 Star Wars movie, A New Hope. However, it did not end up getting used. Designer Colin Cantwell originally pitched the design of what would eventually become the Imperial Arrestor Cruiser directly to Star Wars creator George Lucas. The production team for A New Hope would try and decide on what design to use for the Imperial Star Destroyer. Originally, before becoming known as the Cantwell-class, the design was known as the Sith Carrier. It was designed with the idea to launch Sith fighters. The trademark dish design on the sides of the ship were intended as weapons to destroy various starships. While the design was not used, with the production team going with something totally different, the Cantwell-class's dishes would actually inspire and be adapted into the super laser weapon of the Death Star. Fast forward to the production of the 2018 film Solo, A Star Wars Story, the film's production crew would find Colin Cantwell's original designs for this ship. They intended to use it for the film, which led to Industrial Light and Magic creating a high-fidelity CG model of the vessel. Unfortunately, the Cantwell-class scenes would end up getting cut for the movie. Initially, the script for the movie had the iconic Star Wars vessel of the Millennium Falcon being captured by the tractor beams of the Cantwell-class. The cruiser would still feature in the Onyx Squadron sequence in the film's deleted scenes. Eventually, the starship would appear in Andor Season 1, both in the episodes Daughters of Ferrix and Rick's Road. Maybe it'll appear in Andor Season 2, who knows. That's our breakdown of the Cantwell-class Arrestor Cruiser from the Star Wars universe. It's a pretty unique story when you consider that the ship's original design, by Colin Cantwell, was pitched to become the first Imperial Star Destroyer. While George Lucas did not choose it for the Star Destroyer, it is fantastic that it would go on to become the Cantwell-class and appear briefly in Solo and fully in Andor, the Disney Plus Star Wars series. If you enjoyed our Starship breakdown from the Star Wars universe, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. You can also use the playlist on the end screen to check out other Star Wars Starship breakdowns. That's the end of this video. I've been Captain Jack in the Hangar Bay. Remember, if you're talking about science fiction, we want to hear about it. May the Force be with you.